Artificial Intelligence Doctor. User question. What are the mechanisms behind increased diuresis, urine production, in a recumbent position? GPT-01 answer. Thought about diuresis in recumbent position for a couple of seconds. When an individual moves from an upright, standing or sitting, to a recumbent, lying position, several physiological changes contribute to an increase in urine production, or diuresis. The primary mechanisms involve alterations in fluid distribution, changes in cardiac and renal hemodynamics, and hormonal modulation. Key factors include redistribution of blood volume. In an upright position, gravity causes a significant portion of blood to pool in the lower extremities. When a person lies down, this gravitational effect is reduced. Fluid previously sequestered in the veins of the legs and splanchnic circulation returns more readily to the central circulation. The resulting increase in venous return to the heart elevates central blood volume and cardiac filling pressures. Increased cardiac output and renal perfusion. With the heart receiving more venous return, stroke volume and cardiac output tend to increase. Enhanced cardiac output improves renal blood flow. Since the kidneys are highly sensitive to changes in perfusion, this improved renal perfusion increases the glomerular filtration rate, GFR. An elevated GFR naturally leads to the production of more filtrate and hence more urine, assuming no compensatory changes in tubular reabsorption. Atrial natriuretic peptide, ANP, release. The increased central blood volume and subsequent stretching of the atria in the heart can trigger the release of atrial natriuretic peptide, ANP. ANP promotes natriuresis, excretion of sodium in the urine, and, consequently, an osmotic diuresis. By reducing sodium reabsorption in the renal tubules, ANP encourages greater fluid excretion, thereby increasing urine output. Modulation of antidiuretic hormone, ADH, secretion. Although ADH, vasopressin, levels are influenced by multiple factors, including plasma osmolality, changes in position can subtly affect its secretion. With improved central volume status, there may be less ADH release, as the body perceives a relatively overfilled state. Lower ADH levels reduce water reabsorption in the collecting ducts, thus increasing urine volume. Reduced sympathetic tone to renal vasculature. Standing requires engagement of sympathetic nervous system tone to maintain adequate blood pressure against gravity. When recumbent, this requirement diminishes, potentially leading to lower sympathetic outflow to the renal vasculature. Decreased renal sympathetic tone can result in vasodilation of the renal arterioles, further enhancing renal blood flow and facilitating diuresis. Correction of subclinical edema. In upright positions, some individuals, particularly those with reduced venous return or subtle cardiac/vascular issues, may develop mild fluid accumulation in the interstitial spaces of the lower limbs. Upon lying down, this edema fluid is mobilized back into the circulation, effectively increasing plasma volume and promoting renal elimination of the excess fluid. In summary, lying down redistributes fluid from the periphery to the central circulation, increasing venous return, cardiac output, and GFR. In response, the body adjusts hormone levels such as ANP and ADH and renal vascular tone to promote increased sodium and water excretion. These integrated cardiovascular, renal, and hormonal adjustments explain why diuresis is often greater in a recumbent position compared to standing or sitting.